We're gonna go live, do an unboxing. This way of the Warhammer 40,000 Beast Snagga Orks Army box. Now, we haven't done much coverage of 40K here, but we're going to change all that. So to give some background to show that I have a clue what I'm talking about, I've been an Orc player for about 25 years or so with second edition way back when. Have a massive collection of Orcs, and really looking forward to checking out this next iteration of them. This is just going to be the start of this. Of course, we have the Codex in here, and I think we're going to have some fun with that. We're going to go and pull out the old Here We Go and Log the Orcs books, as well as all the Codexes I have. There's probably a couple that are missing, but we're going to discuss Orcs through the year when it comes to Warhammer 40,000. So let's see what's the box is like. Now, obviously, this one has been a little controversial. It sold out quickly on the Games Workshop site, leaving a lot of folks very pissed off. But as many predicted, including myself, is that they're becoming a bit more readily available from stores. I've seen a lot of posts from stores saying they will be getting more in this coming weekend. So if you missed out initially, you might luck out and be able to get the next round of them. So from what I can tell, I'm going to go with the value is somewhere between $250 and $300 of figures, based off of what we're seeing here. So my thought would be is we of course got the Codex, depending on how you want to price the Codex. You've got the set of boys, which is I think it's going to be 1 or 2 boxes. It looks like there's 20 boys, so I'm gonna go with 2 boxes for that, and 2 boxes will probably be, let's say, 80, somewhere between 80 and 100 would be the guess. Going with the Beast Snaggas themselves, the set of 3 is probably 50. The characters are probably in the 30 range, so that's 100, 150, 130, 160 plus the Codex. Depending on yours, puts that 200 range, plus the cards will be what, 30, 40 bucks. So you're looking at least 250 for what you get inside, and that does include maybe some other small little things, bits and bobs here and there. So let's go and look at what we get here. Yeah, obviously, first thing, this is not push to fit. Fairly interesting. I'm going with this is Wazag. Update to the classic figure. Now, the Beast Snaggas as a whole, my take on them is it's very much like old school snake bites. It should be kind of fun to do a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of snake bite stuff that's been sitting around. It's an army I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. So we'll see what we can do with that. Kind of looking forward to overall putting things together. Looks like a lot of options here. A lot of weapon options. A lot of bits and bobs, which is pretty cool. It should be a nice set to be able to do some customization with the figures themselves. A lot of it, I think I'm going to give some credit to GW. There is a nice throwback to some of the classic cyborgs, actually be cyborgs figures. This was kind of the back of the old Orc Knob figure that had pipes at the end of it. And of course, there's the metal cyborgs that had wheels, and there's one of them that has a wheel for the back of it. So nice old school throwback. It'll be really interesting kind of mixing those figures with these to see how it all comes together. So let's look at the boys themselves. First thing, it looks like they're not that bad to get together, not quite pushed to fit, but a lot of the newer style of GW where the pieces go together fairly well. We're getting a lot of head options, which are pretty solid, a lot of bits to customize. We of course get classic bullets over there. We got some metal shoulder armor, lots of different armor. Looks like maybe some face armor, which should be kind of cool. And of course, lots of options for arms in different ways. Of course, weapons, here alone, we've got 3 different gun options. Some different options for the close combat weapons as well. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to mix this pretty well as far as the set. I think what will be really interesting is being able to take these figures and how well they mix with the original boys that have been out for decades at this point. You know, I remember buying the box of boys. Oh my God, so many years ago. So yeah, I mean, this looks pretty solid, like a nice, I think, update to the Orc boys. Kind of has a little feel for snake bites, has a little bit feel with the Orcs from Warhammer Fantasy or Age of Sigmar. Nice kind of blend between the two. Like, I'm not completely sold on them, but I feel like they should be an interesting. They'll stand out from the normal Orc boys, which I think is pretty cool and good. Of course, we have bases for everything. Cards, I don't know if we really need to go through and open up the cards. Of course, folks will want to check out the Codex. Well, actually, this... we will want to see this. Some prints. Wow. This, I don't think, got enough play from GW. Of course, we have all of the clans represented here, which is pretty awesome. Freebooters, we see Death Skulls, Blood Axes, Evil Sons, Goths, Bad Moons, and Snake Bites. Yeah, so I think my plan is probably going to do the Orcs like a Snake Bites force, and throw in, or not the Orcs, the Snagga Beast, the Beast Snaggas is a snakebite force, and mix them in with the snake bites that I have. As I said, I got a lot of old school boar boys, which should look kind of cool mixed in with the updated figures. So, looks like I got 2 prints. I don't know if you're supposed to get 1 or 2. Interesting. Of course, this is what everyone really cares about, is the Orc Codex. I'm going to flip through this really quick, see if anything really kind of stands out that's interesting that we haven't seen yet. And then from there, I think the biggest thing that I would like to do, as I said, pull out all the old school codexes that I've got and compare them and really talk about kind of the evolution of Orcs with Games Workshop. And we'll see how things have changed through the years. Let's see. Any characters? I know my video is flipped upside down. To switch it around. Yeah, well, at some point we'll have to figure that out. Sorry, I know this is all backwards. All right, we got Golf Clan, we got Boss Zagstruck, Evil Sons, a little Bad Moons action. We got Blood Axe with Boss Snickeret, Mad Doc Grotsnick. Be very interesting to see what we get from there. I'm kind of fascinated to read the snake bites and see how they might differ from the beast snaggas. Like, are they actually going to differentiate between the two, or are the snake bites just part of them? Captain Badrock with the freebooters, some of my favorites. Let's see any cool images here. All right. The question is, are there any units we do not know about yet? Gazgul, Makari, Big Mechs, Warboss, Weird Boys, Big Mechs, characters, Deathkiller Trikes, Beast Boss and Squigosaur, Paint Boss, Warboy. Warboy should be interesting, comparing that to the Weird Boys, see if there's much of a difference on that. Beast Snag and Knobs. Also, some of these just not getting updated. Mad Doc Rotsnick is still the old school figure. We got Runt Herds. So far, nothing is jumping out at me as far as new or different. Of course, we got the Beast Snagga stuff is somewhat new. Obviously, we've seen it previewed. Put Spawner, Wasboom, working on it. Stompa, Workshop, and then we got Big Ed, Boss Bunka, of course, all the weapons profiles. All right, so this should be pretty fascinating to see how it goes over and how it compares to everything else. I'm excited for this, and of course, I said we're going to go and do a comparison between this and all of the classic books that have been put out. So look forward to that right here at Board Games Today. Of course, follow us with the latest news at BoardGameToday.com. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at Board Game Today, keeping it nice and consistent as always. Thanks so much. Keep rolling those dice and get your game on.